it doesn't, then we know that something's up. Okay, we're live apparently.
All right, guys, we're live. I don't know what happened, but we're going to be sending the link over. We've just had a little technical difficulty, which really stinks. That's the first time we've ever had a problem with that. I know sometimes there have been those that have had problems with it, but hope we hadn't lost everyone because it was getting to be pretty a lot of fun.
No, I need to do that.
What'd you do?
Oh, hold on. Okay, it should be up. All right. So we'll see if people see it.
All right, guys, let us know if we're back on. Sorry about that. Don't know what exactly happened, but we changed connections, and we'll see. If you are on here, just say hello. Let us know if it's buffering. Let us know if you're seeing video, if you're getting sound. So if not, I hate that because I don't know what we're going to do. I guess we'll just have to wait. But
oh, they're coming back. Hello, everyone.
Awesome. If anyone knows where it broke down, so we can kind of know where we had to stop, because I know we talked about
the last thing that you heard.
What is the last thing that you were able to hear? So I don't go back and go through it all. Well, I probably need to, because this video will be, live for you guys to watch.
The other one will be too, though.
Will it?
Yeah, because we ended it, and so it'll.
Oh, okay. Well, it's kind of weird,
Eric's
though.
Eric's comment. Oh,
Oh,
about Area 51 and the Second Amendment.
Yeah, Area 51 and the Second Amendment. We can't get, we get 500,000 people to run out to Area 51, which is just pretty much, who knows what it is. But, and we can't get those people to stand up for the Second Amendment. Just, again, it's a little bit of a thermometer of where we are as a nation. And, our priorities are and if you look, you turn on any kind of news media outlet, doesn't even matter if it's Fox News or whatever, you can tell our priorities are really screwed up. It's funny to me because every time, even Fox, which is the one, now I look at Breitbart and I look at some other sources as well. But, even Fox, when you look at the headlines and you look down those lines, that is not news. That is not national news. That is it's a bunch of drama. My gosh. So not really sure what that's about. So, I love it. I'm seeing people pop back in. I'm glad you guys, I'm glad we didn't scare you off with our technical difficulties. Poor Sarah Mack. I was like, what?
I was like, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah. So, and we've never had that problem before. So it's great. So great to have you guys back with us. Again, now this video, because of the other one breaking up, I do want to talk a little bit about what we talked about at first. We are going to be doing a giveaway on the Olight flashlights. We're going to give away 3 here on the live. For those of you who come to the live event, we're going to look down. Now, make sure that you go over to Patreon and make sure you're asking your questions on YouTube. Any questions that you ask on Patreon, we're not going to see until the live event's over. So make sure you ask your questions on the live event on YouTube. But if you want to enter the giveaway, if you want to enter the giveaway, make sure you go over to Patreon and just say, beside your name, leave a comment and just say, Olight, giveaway. Just say something. So that way I'll know, that you're there. And anybody that I see, even if you've left a comment and you don't say that, if you leave any comments on Patreon, I'm going to pick that up. Just during this live event, we're going to give away 3 lights, and then I believe we have 10 or 12 total, and then I'm going to give those away just to the general Patreon. But if you've come to the live event, we are going to start doing giveaways for you guys because you're spending time out of your week, and we really do appreciate it. I think we have a question.
Yes, Nancy says.
Hey, Nancy.
What alternative news do you recommend, such as Blaze TV, etc.?
Blaze TV. What is that one that's part of Blaze TV? In fact, we've been the one you subscribe to that has like Mark Levin, Steve Crowder. That's a really good source. So if somebody knows what I'm talking about, just pop it down there.
It's not Daily Wire, is it?
No, but Daily Wire's Daily Wire. I look at Breitbart News a lot. I mean, that's one of my go-to sources. And there are some others out there. So, but Fox News, again, it's funny to me. I mean, for somebody that's kind of conservative, I know they try to kind of stay in the middle of the road a little bit more. But when you look at the headlines, especially online, you get on there and start looking, it's like, really? I mean, Nancy Pelosi and AOC going back and forth. Is that news? I mean, is that news? That's stupid. That's middle school. So to me, I mean, what in the world? Why are we watching this stuff that, it's like I've always said, a lot of these ideas that are coming out now, it's one person that just has this weird idea and they stick a microphone in their face, and then people all feel like the country feels that way. And it's just not the case. So, we've got to keep our heads on straight.
That's how I feel.
yeah. Breitbart is something TV. And now I hate that I can't think of that. If somebody
CRTV.
CRTV.
I think they said that it got changed to Blaze TV.
Maybe
the name
so.
From CRTV to Blaze TV.
Well, and I'll tell you, the Blaze, I like the Blaze. Glenn Beck does a good job over there, and that is one source that I keep bookmarked all the time. I'm always going to it. That's a great source. And there's a lot of other things. I'll tell you, if you ever follow Instagram, there are some really good Instagram guys over there that are very conservative.
Mm-hmm.
And, I follow a lot of them, and it's really neat. I mean, a lot of the news coming out. One of the things that just happened, though, down in Florida, I think it happened on Wednesday night, 4 men, it was a home invasion, and they knocked down the door, whatever. The man grabbed his AR-15, killed 2 of them. One of them had a Friday the 13th Jason mask on. He killed that guy and he killed another guy, and the 2 of them got away. But, it was 4 guys against him. And if he hadn't had his AR, and they were all armed. So, that's another proof that we cannot allow for them to limit our magazine capacities. It is vital. And I think I just saw where Baltimore, they passed more and more gun laws, and now their crime has gone through the roof even more than it was previously. It's just proof, guys. And we've got to make sure we stand and fight, because if we're not careful, we can be disarmed. And and I know, they're going to pry the firearm from my cold dead fingers. And I agree with that. But with legislation and things, it's just like that frog in the water. You just turn it up incrementally, and before long, you're boiling. So we got to continue to fight. Yes.
How about a Barrett M82 giveaway?
I don't have a Barrett. That's one thing about, the 50 caliber is that for us, there's nowhere to shoot it around here. We do have a place that we can shoot a mile. The range, the Clinton House. In fact, I think they've even increased it. Well, no, it was a mile. They increased it from 1,000 to 1,300. Now it's a mile. And even there, we can't shoot 50 caliber there. So, that's one of the things that 50 caliber is it's not really high on my radar, because I wouldn't have a place to shoot it. It'd look nice back here.
Yeah, but what's the point?
But, it's a dream gun, no doubt. Yes.
Ray asked,
Hey,
have
Ray.
you thought about trying a hammock and tarps for a budget bag shelter?
Yes. In fact, I have an Eno, and with the Fly, and it is, to me, hammock is one of the best ways to go when it goes to camp, goes to bug out, goes to camping, goes to whatever. In fact, I think I gave my last one to her, but those, your Eno. Yeah, that's,
yes.
Those are great. And there are some others that are, in fact, I have a buddy of mine that's gone through every hammock system out there. And I can't remember what he's on now, but that is a great way to be able to and have that Fly. So, you're not, attacked by bugs. And if it rains, you're good to go. But a very comfortable way to sleep. Yes.
Enigma asked, what was the first gun you ever shot?
First gun I ever shot was a Ruger Bearcat in 22 long rifle. That's what my dad had. And loved that. It was a really neat pistol, a revolver, a single action. And that was the first gun. In fact, my dad bought that gun from my mother because at that time, he was working in a third shift job. And my mother and me and my brother, which I was 4 at the time, and my brother was just 2. And we had these men. He would go to work, and these men would try to break into our house. I'm gonna tell you, when I was 4 years old, I remember looking out the back porch door and seeing a man trying to break into our house. I mean, I can clearly see that in my mind. Probably one of the reasons why I'm so my defense is such an important part for me. And then here you have this woman, this by herself, and my mother's 5'1", so she was tiny. And of course, then he bought that Ruger Bearcat, which was hilarious when you think back about it. But it did give her something, and it gave her confidence. But that was the first gun I ever fired. And then, and he had some other ones. He had some different rifles and things. But, it wasn't anything. That was the gun that she had for self-defense, the gun we shot first. And then my grandfather took me out when I was 6 and bought me a .22 rifle, and at a flea market. In fact, here locally. And this flea market's still going. And a little .22 bolt action Savage single shot rifle. Loved that thing. Shot the fire out of it. But that began my love affair. Yes.
Gramps asks suggestions for a mid-priced 400 to 1500 or 400 to 500 hammer-fired 9mm.
Hammer-fired 9mm, 4 to 5. That's a tough one because really the production on those goes up. I mean, the production cost with hammer double single action hammer-fired pistols. I'm trying to think one that actually is funny, but the Ruger Security 9 is actually a hammer-fired polymer frame pistol, but it's very similar to the the double single. I mean, it's similar to the Striker Fire, but it's still a internal hammer fired. So I don't know if that's that, and that's very reasonable. But one gun though that I'll tell you that I really like, and I can't remember the price right off the top of my head, but is one of the Bersa, the TPR9. That is an excellent handgun, and it's aluminum frame, double single action. Those, in fact, I have the full size and the compact. I was very impressed with those handguns, and so those are two. Trying to think of something else that would be in that ballpark, guys. I'll tell you, there's so many guns out there. It's just hard to think about which one would be in that price.
Eddie Bogart says, check out the CZ P07 or P09.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, my gosh, yes. Thank you. Yeah. The P07 to me, the P09 is a full size pistol, but the P07, excellent with CZ ergonomics and just CZ, and just definitely an excellent handgun. So, yeah. Thank you, Eddie. I'm having a moment there. I'm having a senior moment.
You said it, not me. Kevin Dietrich asked, have you thought of food prep videos such as things to grow yourself and ways to store it?
Sure. Yeah. In fact, I used to do more of those early on. We had pretty large gardens that we did stuff. Went to the Mormon Cannery actually at one point and purchased a huge amount of food, and which we have piled right now. We have it stockpiled. But yeah, we used to do a lot of gardening. We have a nice garden right now. Things are going great. The one problem that I had for a couple of years was we had so many deer in the garden. We could not keep them out. And I tried a number of different things. I finally came up with something to keep the deer out, and then the rabbits tore everything up. So, it was kind of crazy, and it kind of knocked me out. But now we have a fenced in area, actually right over at my mom and dad's, which they live next door to me. And we have a garden going right now that's going gangbusters. But canning and doing, that's a big one. But unfortunately, we have not been in that major food production like we have been in the past. For years, I had a large garden with a lot of food. I mean, we grew a lot of food, and we've had to limit it. But we need to really, in fact, I've really been thinking a lot about it, getting back into really making some food. Here's the deal, guys. If you are at all prepper minded or just preparedness, having even a small garden will teach you the basics of gardening, and then you can expand it. So you may not have room to really produce all the vegetables and things to be able to make it. But guys, I'm telling you, even having those skills, you can do it in a limited area and then be able to expand a lot better than you can starting out fresh and not knowing really that much about gardening, or you may not have done it in a number of years. In fact, it's funny. I'm rereading the Going Home series, and with Vacation, which on Vacation I actually finished book 4. I'm on book 5, and that's one of the biggest things. Is just they're now just trying to figure out ways to grow their food. Now, I've read the series before. I've come back and started it again because he's come out with some new books. So that is something that's been really heavy on my mind. So maybe I can translate that into some videos coming up. Yes.
Sorry. Steve Brown.
Hey,
I am going to get a Curio and Relic license.
Oh.
Can you recommend sites to find items that fall under CNR?
A lot of times, well, as far as from a dealer standpoint, I think Classic Firearms, I think they do have some dealer programs because they import a ton of things and they are always getting CNR eligible pieces. But not only them, also Century Arms. In fact, Century Arms has a collector's corner. I think it's collector's corner. And if you go to the Century Arms website, and there'll be this little place, this collector's corner, you click on there. They always have some of the coolest different oddball firearms. And a lot of times they have a lot. They just import them in. So I think that would be a great place. Some of those J&G sales. I know I did a video on that Berno 22 bolt action. One of them was CNR eligible. The older ones, and I think the newer ones weren't. The one I had wasn't. But there's a ton of different things like that. And let's see, Aim Surplus. Those are ones that I would check. I don't know that they have dealer programs because I'm not a dealer. But I'm pretty sure they do. And so, and there are some others, but those are the 3: J&G Sales, Classic Firearms, Aim Surplus. But I don't know that they do dealer, but I know Century Arms does. So check them out. Yes.
David Englehart says,
hey, David.
I don't remember if I've seen any mention of seeds in Sensible Prepper videos. Do you have seeds in your preps?
Oh, yes. Heirloom, non-GMO, non-hybrid heirloom seeds. That is critical. I have done some videos on that. One of the big things but I haven't done it in a long time. The big thing about having these seeds that you buy like at Walmart is that you plant them and then that's it. They're hybrid. They don't come back. Taking heirloom seeds, planting them, then you have seeds to harvest. Now, working out how to do that, and of course, there's tons of videos. Now is the time to learn all that, and get those things down. And again, guys, I want to highly recommend, because I have really been in that world right now with the Going Home series. It has really inspired me to take second looks at a lot of things. And Chris Weatherman, such a knowledgeable person. And it's one of the reasons why I kind of push Survival Dispatch Insider. Chris is a big contributor there to the Insider. In fact, he lives right there near Big Daddy Guns and the Survival Dispatch Insider deal. In fact, John Faulkner, who really runs the Survival Dispatch, those guys are just living it down there in Gainesville, Florida. I mean, they are just immersed in it. And so, one thing that, it's kind of funny because I'm kind of pulled because my Suits channel is so gun and self-defense related. And there's a lot to be said about that. But the Sensible Prepper channel is also a big deal too, because of and it's really 2 full-time deals. And so I end up balancing them. And I really wish, in some ways, if all things were all things are evil, if all things were equal, I would really have maybe gone one way or the other. I'm glad I did. I'm glad I have both because I'm interested in both. But that's non-hybrid seeds. They won't. You need non-hybrid, and you need heirloom. And there are a lot of different sources out there. You can get even the vaults. I have some that are vacuum sealed, packed. They still have a shelf life, so you need to be careful. But maybe that's something that I really should do coming up. Of course, our growing season, we're right in the middle of it. So. But yeah, that's something that's definitely a great thing to do, is go ahead and you can get your seed ahead of time for next year, even that you can use later on. Yes.
Kevin asked, do you have a ham radio license?
No, I do not. I have ham radios. I have a good friend of mine that has them. I have lots of friends. And for a long time, I have studied, and we're going to go get it. And and Sensible Prepper and Such and family and everything else. I'm ashamed to say it because really I need to get that license. You can use a ham radio, obviously, if it's an emergency situation, whether you have a license or not. But here's the thing about having a license, is you can get proficient, know what you're doing, know a lot of the different things, the details about ham radio. So I have studied a lot, and I should probably just go take the test. But yeah. I failed. No, but it's just one of the things. That's one of my holes. And, we all have them. I'm not super prepper. I know I act like it, but it's more like sensible prepper, which means I have a life on top of prepping. Not much of one. Okay.
No, we don't have any other questions.
Everybody just gave up on me because I don't have
my that's what they said. You don't have your ham radio?
Okay, tomorrow we're going to have at Facebook Live, we're going to have Skinny Medic here. That is going to be a real treat. A lot of knowledge in the medical trauma. He's a paramedic. He's been a paramedic for about 20 years. He's an instructor, just a really good guy. So he will be here tomorrow with Robbie Wheaton. We're going to have all three of us here. And we're not just going to be talking about medical. We'll be talking because Dietrich has a lot of different expertise too in guns and different things. So that's going to be coming up. One thing I do want to mention right now, and I've said this earlier, but just in case you missed it, we are going to be giving away 3 Olight flashlights to people that have come to the live event tonight. Now, we're not going to be able to do it. I'm not going to be able to make the announcement right now because unfortunately, I just thought about it about a couple of hours before and I grabbed it and I brought all this stuff over here. But we're going to give away 3 lights to Patreon members. Now, what you need to do is go over to Patreon, to our live chat link, and you can use either one because I know we had a disruption. We'll look at both. But if you have been on here, make sure you say, hey, I was on Patreon Live, enter me into the giveaway for one of the 3 Olight flashlights. And one of the big ones is the Warrior X in OD green, which is a limited edition. They only made it for the Elite sale. And I'm going to give this one away. I've never used this one. And I've got all the stuff right here. It's rechargeable. It's got the battery with it. I mean, this is a great light. And I'm going to throw in one of the pressure pad switches, and it's an OD green pressure pad just at the cap. So that's coming. This is a fantastic light. And I have a black one, and I love it. I love the light. But I just thought it'd be cool to get, even though I love this green. Yeah, I was debating. But you know what? I just love for you guys to come and hang out with us. And I just wanted to do it. I want to do this for you guys. Another thing that I'm going to give away for the Patreons is you can choose between the black or the Desert Tan PL Mini 2 weapons light. And rechargeable, these things are great. They're 600 lumens. They quick detach. The mount is fully adjustable. It'll go on any. In fact, we've tried it on every handgun. And it'll go on every one that I've tried with an accessory rail. And then, let's see, what was it that I was going to get? Oh, and then just something a little different that wasn't part of the sale. I have one of the pure copper. This is a solid copper S1 mini baton. And in fact, it's still in the wrap. This is one of my favorite EDC lights. But this is a very limited edition light. I'm going to give it away to patron members that are on the live event. So again, you want to enter, run over, and you can do it after. We don't have to do it right now, but you can go over before tonight because other people will come in, and I want to give it to you guys that came for the live. Now, and then I have like about 7 or 8 other Olight flashlights. In fact, one is the X7R Marauder. This is a 12,000 lumen light. You can see it's still in the packaging. And this one we're going to be giving away just on the general Patreon and others. In fact, the Seeker 2 Pro, this is one of my favorite lights. They did come out with the Desert Tan, and it was a limited edition, and I'm keeping it because I love it. But this is in the black. Here's one that I had in the black that we tested, and we scuffed. In fact, I ran over this from a Hummer, and it slid across the driveway. These things are incredibly awesome, and we're going to be giving one of those away, and others. There's others. So we're going to start doing more of that. And what I'm going to do is every week, I'm going to have at least 2-3 items. We'll just see. It's going to vary to give away to patron members that come to the live event. And if we have some other things, we'll give it to the general group. But Patreon's kind of closed down on doing giveaways, and they've just the policies and the way they've done things. It's just made it very difficult. And I like giving stuff away, especially to you guys, because you're my guys. You guys watch my back, and so I love it. So just let you know, make sure you run over to Patreon. I'll say it again a little bit later because I know sometimes people pop in and out, and I don't want you to miss it. Yes.
Chase Kelly said,
hey,
we need Sarah Mack and Such autographs on the box too. And a bunch of people said that is a good idea.
Not only that, I will do that, but I will also include a patch and a sticker, some stuff like that. But what I'll do is when I'll go and then I'll get in touch with you because I can send a message to you, and then just get back to me with your address and we will ship it out. And, I'm excited about it. But we had this big elite sale, and if you want to go back, we did some of the video a minute ago, and I talked about some things, and then our internet connection dropped. But there are some things on there you might want to go back and check that we talked about, and some of the things were about lights and some other things. But the big elite sale that they're having right now, these are they sent me a bunch of items so I could show them, and I'm like, you know what? I've got tons of lights. I want to give these away. I'm going to tell you guys, these are awesome lights. And I did talk about this a minute ago, but these are just awesome lights. I carry, one of these lights back here. It is. It was out of my pocket. I carry an Olight as my EDC. I have for years. I did some of the first Olight videos on YouTube. And so, but that's why I do some of these, but I am going to back off because, it's just a little bit too much. Okay. Yes.
Do you recommend Dark Angel for an ankle trauma kit?
I know about Dark Angel. I've looked at them because I did a review for John Lovell at the Warrior Poet. In fact, I'll just say this. I did look at them. I think John Lovell from the Warrior Poet Society, his ankle kit is the EDC ankle kit. It is excellent. And Blue Alpha Gear did the wraparound for him. And the way it was designed, check out that. But, if there's some things about the Dark Angel kit that you like, I've heard that they are excellent. In fact, a lot of people on the video were saying, oh, I've got Dark Angel, it's awesome. I got Dark Angel, it's awesome. So, but check out John Lovell's, which he is just a solid guy. I love John, just a great guy. And, and a friend. In fact, we're talking about trying to get together. He's down in Georgia, so he's not that far from me. And we talked about it before something happened, and I had to go on a trip. But he and I are going to get together soon. Yes.
All right. Enigma asks, have any experience with the Savage 110 Tactical Hunter bolt action in 6.5 Creedmoor?
No, but I'll tell you this. I have one of the 308 Scout rifles by Savage bolt action 110, and I love it. I love that rifle. I have a long eye relief scope on it. I think I'm Jeff Cooper whenever I've got it. I did a review on that a few years ago. One thing that I will say about Savage is you can't go wrong. You can't go wrong with Savage. They were excellent for years, and then they had during the maybe 70s and 80s, they kind of went downhill, and they came back. And that 110, especially with their trigger, their AccuTrigger, oh my gosh, man, just a freaking boss rifle. And one of the things about like Remington, when they were bought out by Freedom Group, their quality just kind of, they still make some good stuff, but it's hit or miss. And Ruger does well, and then there's a lot of others, but I'll tell you, Savage, I would highly recommend any Savage. I've got a number of different ones, and I love their rifles.
Enigma asks, also, speaking of which, how are you enjoying the Hummer?
I love it. I love it. It's funny. I get grief from people sometimes on YouTube, but it's been a great vehicle. I have had no problems. Of course, I had it checked out. Our mechanic is really good, and he actually, we'll take it to him before we've ever bought anything. Even when we bought Sarah Max, or when she bought it, I didn't buy it. I bought her first car, and then she took that. And put it toward this one, but we took it to Rick and just did a great job. Now, it is a 5-cylinder, which is really weird, but it's a GM car. It's a GM product. So everything on it, the chassis is GM. So the parts and everything are just like anything else, like a Chevy. So it's, but it's funny because, I have a Ford truck, the one that I shot, y'all know about that, but I still have it. And it has like 300,000 miles on it, but we need a truck sometimes. So it's been good. I've been a Ford guy for years, but I really like this car. I like the way it drives. I love the way it feels. And it's just different. It's different than anything else on the road. So I'm a believer and love it. So, yeah, love it.
Steve-O asked, do you watch other YouTube gunners?
Yeah, I do. I don't really have a lot of time, though. I mean, I used to watch a lot, but unfortunately, I'm so busy making video that I don't really have time to watch a lot of video. And so, but when I first started, and I'll tell you, when I first got started, what inspired me was Nothing Fancy. James Yeager, his contractors class. My gosh, that video is the best. I love that video. Curtis at VSO Gun Channel. I saw a couple of his videos and I was like, that is just cool. Curtis has been around for a long time and a good person. All these guys are personal friends of mine now. And of course, Hickok 45. So, and others. Ruger 6 was one. He still does videos, but I hadn't seen a lot of his stuff in a long time. And Safe Arms Review. Steve is one of the best guys out there. Former military, super great guy, and just love him to death. And he and I have been friends for a long time. But now, as far as currently, really what I watch, I do watch some of Nothing Fancy stuff. I don't watch it a lot because, there's a lot. But here's the one thing. Even though those videos are long, he has a lot of information. So don't get bored. There's a lot of information there. Some people it's just not their taste. But I love him. He's just top notch. And Hickok, some people go, oh, he doesn't do a review. But bull crap. He does solid reviews. And if you'll watch, he is just shooting. But he is talking about all the details as he's sitting there messing with it. His details are just as much as I put into it. He just does it in just a grandfatherly, just kind of, hey, whatever, kind of way. And two, he's a really good personal friend of mine. We do talk a lot. And, he's been under a lot of heat. And there's a lot of other guys out there. But, and I'll tell you, Grand Thumb, Mike, that guy, he's Travis Haley's son. And but he's so entertaining. And John Lovell. I mean, there's just a lot of, and then there's of course, there's Tim Military Arms. There's Eric, Iraq veteran. I mean, there's 22 Plinkster, which I do watch some of his stuff because it's fun. But Mr. Guns and Gear, good friend of mine. I don't want to leave anybody out. There's a lot of great ones out there. So that makes it beautiful too. Because what's really cool is that we are not competing. We are on our own. If people want to watch my videos, it's not that they're watching more of mine than they are Eric's. Of course, Eric's now got a really nice big channel. But it's not about competitive. It's just about putting great content out there and people come and watch. I love it.
Jim asked,
Hey,
long
Jim.
live the Republic patch, ?
Well, I'll tell you one thing. Yeah, we have considered that. One thing that we're doing right now, in fact, we got them on order, don't we? Coffee.
Cups? Yes.
We have coffee mugs. Now, this is the thing about coffee mugs. I do not like ceramic coffee mugs. I don't drink coffee out of them. I don't like them because the coffee gets cold, just like that. And that's for me. I'm not, you may love coffee. And we did do some coffee mugs a long time ago. And they were the porcelain. They was for somebody else did them for us. But we actually are, in fact, we got a bunch. We've got them. And I think we're going to do a limited run of like 300 of Long Live the, it's a black coffee mug. It's plastic. I mean, it's that hard plastic. And it's going to have, it's dark. And then it's going to have Long Live the Republic in white. And that is what we're going to do right now because I drink my coffee out of a plastic coffee mug every morning because it keeps the coffee hot. And if people don't like them, then we may go back to, ceramic. But we are doing that. Yeah, we could probably do some patches. In fact, we've been kind of we kind of waned on our website just because everything's crazy. We still get orders here and there, but it's not really a whole lot. We just kind of sell patches, but we need to kind of up that. For a long time, I've been planning on doing a survival kit that is Such. It is a Such dedicated survival kit, and that is in the works. But and it's been in the works for a long time. But actually, we're really getting to where we're starting to think about putting that together. So hopefully, we're having some more stuff come up that that you guys might like. And that I like, because I've got to like it first. So, and that way I feel good about you guys getting it.
Do you use Ghost products on any of your Glocks, and specifically the Maritime cups?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. No, I don't do. The one thing about Glock, especially my carry, the ones that are in my carry rotation, because I have a number of different ones. I'm kind of funny about what I do to them because, they're just reliable. One thing that I do like to do to them, though, and this will go against probably everything that I just said, but, Robbie makes just one of the best triggers out on the market. It's so sweet, so slick. And so that is one thing. They're flat face trigger. In fact, I think I've got one right here. The flat face trigger by Wheaton Arms. This is, to me, one of the best upgrades. Besides your sights are probably the best upgrade you can make. But Ghost connectors, I've used those. I haven't the Maritime cups. Yes, I've used them for but I just don't like to do too much to my carry gun. I will do a little polishing though, on the firing pin safety, just that. Kind of smooth it down. It's amazing how much you can really, increase your trigger pull by just doing some polishing of the right areas, the right surfaces. But for a carry gun, I just want it to be reliable. Glock's just super reliable. I feel like anything else I do to it sometimes can just me. But yeah, yes.
Have you had YouTube demonetizing issues?
Oh Lord, yeah. It's been constant. In fact, the Berno 22 bolt action rifle demonetized. And I even disputed that one, and, no luck, no nothing. And they re-demonetized, and they give you a creator support. You can go to them, and they didn't even give me an answer, even though they're usually good about it. But I have probably right now, out of the last 20 videos I've uploaded, 10 of them are demonetized. It really sucks too, because the money that we make for the videos is really low. So, it's really, it just is. But that is what is so beautiful. Guys, I'm telling you, and I know I've said this a number of times, but you here on Patreon, we could not do what we do without you. We couldn't. And otherwise, if I was making a lot of money, and somebody the other day was just going on about how much money I made, and I was thinking, number one, you have no idea how much money I make. And talking about, it was just on and on. In fact, it was on last week's Facebook Live. I ended up blocking that guy finally, because I went through and answered his question. He just would not, he just was just being a jerk. And so finally I did, because I just got tired of reading it. After I answered him a certain way, I said, look, I have spent over an hour back and forth with you, and I'm done, because he was not listening. But you guys on Patreon, it was on Facebook Live, but you guys are just incremental. I mean, it's just not incremental. It's just, you are right there. It is just right there in the cusp to keep us going, to the point that we can right now. And it means a lot. That's why we're doing the flashlights. That's why we do this Facebook Live. this Patreon Live. That's why we do all this, because you guys have been so supportive for us. We want to do more. In fact, I'm going to take a break here just a second before we ask. I know we got some questions still coming up, but I want to just talk about this in a minute, because I did talk about it earlier before we got our technical difficulties. A couple of weeks ago, I was talking about the CZ Evo 3 Micro, which, and how that video, I'm going to put that video up. It'll be demonetized. Well, CZ sent me the Micro, but then I've got to pay for it. And so not only is the video I'm going to spend 12, we've already been to the range 3 times with that gun. Then I'll spend about 12 hours between doing my tabletop, doing the editing, everything else. And it's just demonetized. So I am making zero. And then if I want to keep the CZ, I got to pay for it, which I will, because I love the CZ, and I really love this little small gun. In fact, I bought a really cool case for it, and this thing is just freaking awesome. And I'm going to show this on video, but this thing is just cool. This is Peak Case Company. I just happened to see it. I don't even know how I found it, but I saw it. The CZ Micro fits in here perfectly. It's got cutouts. I'll show it on video, but I was going to actually show it tonight, but we just kind of ran out of time for all the other things we want to talk about. But I bought the case. I think it was like $110 or something. And so all that. Well, guess what? If it wasn't for Patreon, there's no way I could do that. And so, that is what I count. That's what I say. You know what? There are videos that I want to do, that I want to show people, that I want to share with them, that honestly, from a business standpoint, I can't do it. And this is a business, because I do this full time, and Sarah Mac's full time with me. And we have we've converted a lot of our house, and I have a shop where I do stuff. And, it was years. We've been on here 11 years. So there's no way I could do like that Burno. I couldn't do there's just over and over. So what you guys do, you don't realize I want you to realize how important your support is, because otherwise you'd see about half of what we do. And, the way it is. So thank you. Yes.
Okay. It is 10:05.
It's 10:05.
I got one more question/comment. How about a Mac has my back shirt?
Mac has my back shirt.
Sarah Mac.
This Mac was I thought you were talking about Tim from Military Arms Channel. I was like, well, Tim and I have known each other for a long time, and we're friends and all that.
No.
But, and I have his back, so I don't know. Such has my back. That would be pretty cool. Well, thank you, because that's just got me thinking. So thank you. That's a good one. Let me just say this now. Again, we're going to be giving away a Warrior X in the OD green. This is limited edition. Again, this is only for the elite sale. They made these. Once these are sold, there's no more. We're going to give this away to someone that's on Patreon Live tonight. So make sure you go over to the Patreon page where we said new link, or the earlier Patreon Live announcement, and say giveaway, or, enter me in the giveaway. We're going to give away one of these. We're going to give away a PL Mini 2, either black or desert tan. You can choose. Now, the one you choose will be giving the other one away on regular Patreon. But the desert tan or the black, we're going to be giving one of those away to Patreon Live viewers only. And we're going to give away one of the solid copper S1 mini batons that's still in the package. This is a limited edition, no others. And then for the now, if you don't win, please don't get upset. It's funny because a lot of times you do giveaways, people don't win, they go, well, fine, and they don't. Then they quit. It's like. But we are going to be giving away a Seeker 2 Pro to the general Patreon group. We're going to be giving away one of the X7 Marauders 12,000 lumen flashlights, still packaged. And we've got some of their Baldor PL2 weapons lights with the laser. Got a couple of those. And, just Seeker 2. I already said Seeker 2. So, and then we've got one of the E3 EOS in this bronze color. This is a limited edition, big time. They were giving these away on their sale, but we'll be giving that away. And we're going to sign the box, Sis and I both, Sarah Mac, we're going to sign it. And I'm going to throw in at least a sticker and a patch. We'll just see. So we will definitely do that. So those are some things that we're going to be doing. But here's the thing, guys. If you come on Patreon Live and you spend your evening with us, number one, it is just a blessing to me. And the questions, and plus just get to hang out with Sarah Mac. That's fun. That's just cool.
I'm just a blessing.
But you are a blessing. But we're going to start doing some giveaways specifically for live, because I feel a real tight connection with you guys, and it just means a lot to me that you guys would take an evening out. And so, and then again, Facebook Live tomorrow, we're going to have a special guest, Dietrich Skinny Medic. MedicalGearOutfitters.com. Skinny Medic will be here tomorrow with Robbie Wheaton. Robbie's going to be here too. And Sarah Mac will be over there hiding. And, and again, we are going to be, and then again, look for the poll that's coming up. We're going to give you 7 different logos to choose from, and we're going to see what you guys pick for the Sensible Prepper logo. This is brand new. And we'll do just a page with all 7, have them numbered, and you can pick out which one you like. And might do something around that. Of course, we have one we've already kind of picked out, but, you might change your mind. But, and then let's see, there's just so much. I could go on another hour and a half and you guys would be like, please shut him up.
Oh, Lord.
Shut him up.
I'd have to go to bed. I'd be like, bye, have fun.
One last thing, guys, and I said this earlier. A lot of you guys came in and talked about what we talked about with the CZ Evo 3, about, what should I do? Should I take videos like that and make them really just basic and trim and make them just quick or should I even do them? And it was overwhelmingly people said, we like the way you do your videos. We like the way your style is. Please don't, cheapen it, lessen it, whatever. And I really appreciate all that input. I took a few days, went on a little sabbatical for about 3 days and just did some planning, thinking, and a lot of it had to do with what you guys had that input. Thank you. Thank you so much. You guys keep me sane. I'm telling you, when I click on a video and I upload it and I look and there's that big yellow demonetized mark on there, I just go, Patreon. I don't know what I would do if I didn't have that. I really don't. And because, it would be very, very discouraging. You give me courage. With that being said, be strong, be of good courage. God bless America. Long live the Republic.